My family is pressuring me to divorce my husband. Posted by u/relentlessly. My husband, let's call him Nate, 28M, and I, 27F, have been together for 10 years, married for 4 years. We've been having a rough couple of years, and basically everyone I'm close to is telling me to get divorced. Nate and I have known each other since we were 14 and 15. We were best friends first, basically inseparable, and started dating near the end of high school. As far as our relationship, everything was great. He treated me amazingly, always with the most respect, going out on dates frequently, buying each other gifts, many vacations together, etc. When we first got engaged, things were a bit rough, but we spent many nights having long discussions and worked through those issues. However, over the last couple of years, we've been having a hard time. Nate lost his job in 2022, and I think this set us on a collision course. Ever since then, he's had a hard time keeping a job. He frequently goes to temp agencies for in-between periods, but this has never been a problem for me, as he tries his best to make sure bills are paid. He always blames the jobs, but I have a hard time believing he's been through about 15 jobs since 2022 and every single one is the problem. Maybe some of them, but not all of them? Anytime I try to talk about it, he tells me not to worry, and he always finds a new job, so I've tried to stay out of it and let him figure it out. As a result of this, though, we rarely ever go out anymore. I could pay for us to go out myself, but he has expressed to me before that it makes him feel bad that I'm always paying. We celebrate our birthdays and anniversary, and that's it. I've genuinely been okay with this because I understand that we are going through something, but my family tends to make me feel bad. I'm very close with my family, and they love to insert their opinions even when it's not asked. They love to comment on how he never gets me any gifts anymore, he doesn't compliment me as much, and doesn't really show up to family gatherings anymore. So much so that I've resorted to just lying about things I've bought for myself, like books, jewelry, electronics, etc., telling them he got them for me just to get them to shut up. If he doesn't come to something where the whole family is there, I just tell them he's at work. The divorce comments started coming in last year when I had car trouble. I have an older car, 2010, and my engine went out last year. I still had about 4 months left on my loan, and interest rates were insane, so I couldn't afford to get a new car while also having to take care of so much of the bills at home. I tried talking to a few different mechanics, but I couldn't work out any payment plans, and honestly, the lowest estimate I got was $9,000 to fix everything that was wrong with it. This seemed like a lost cause. I ended up getting my dad's help for a new car. He put down $5,000 to help me get a new car, and this shook my family. The main question being, why didn't Nate help? I wasn't about to flat out tell them he couldn't afford it, so I did my best to dodge the questions, but it didn't matter, the damage was done. Now anytime they could squeeze it in, they're telling me I need to divorce him. Over the past year, I've been able to get Nate back at family gatherings, but they've all ended with him being super drunk. Nate doesn't know when to stop. I know this about him. I try my best to cut him off, but I'm his wife, not his babysitter. I've asked him over and over again to not drink at these functions, or if he must, to only have one. To which he tells me it's fine, he's an adult and knows when to stop, he doesn't. This has resulted in a lot of embarrassing nights for me and just adds to their list of reasons to leave him. My family has never seen a healthy marriage. I have never seen a healthy marriage. At least not outside of a TV show. Any of my family that's married, they're all bitter and cheating on each other. I can't really take advice from this. I believe you don't get into a marriage just to jump ship as soon as things get hard. We are just going through something, and we have to work on it together. However, recently I've started questioning this, and I'm not sure if this is the right stance here. My cousin passed away recently, and her funeral was this past week. I was and still am devastated. Nate doesn't understand why. My cousin and I weren't on speaking terms, and he doesn't get why I would be so upset since we weren't even talking. At the funeral, he sat with me, but he didn't speak the entire time we were there, not even to comfort me. I have no idea who he was that day. This was not the man I married. It was like having rose-colored glasses taken off, and now I'm questioning everything. Now I'm starting to feel like my family may have been right all along, and I've been too naive to see it. I can't go to any of them about it because I already know what they're going to say. I feel very alone right now. Where do I even go from here? /relevant comments. Commenter. Sounds like it has been 3 of the 4 years that you have been married, he has not been a good husband. Do you think that he may be dealing with undiagnosed mental health issues, which could lead to the job issues? I would make an ultimatum that he needs to see a doctor or therapist to be evaluated for mental health issues. The guy has lost 15 jobs. Also, if you have health insurance that would cover couples therapy, the two of you need that as well. You talk about staying in a marriage through tough times. One thing that you might want to do is to make a list of all of the things that made you fall in love with him. I would then go through the list, and regardless of the reason, like not being able to afford it, I would cross out all of the things that no longer exist. I would then add all of the negative stuff that exists now that did not exist when you got married, and any positives that are improving your love for him. If the person that you fell in love with no longer exists, that is a legitimate reason to leave the marriage. Ops response: yes, I do believe he may be dealing with depression. I've tried many times to get him to talk to me about it, but he always insists nothing is wrong. He feels like the cards are just stacked against him right now. I communicate the best I can about my needs. I'm always checking in to see what I can do to help and if he needs anything from me, and he just assures me everything is fine. Money is a sensitive subject, so I try to avoid it as he has told me it bothers him and has led to arguments. I love him very much and can't help but feel like if I leave, I'm kicking him while he's down. Before I started working at my company in 2021, I was unemployed for about 4 months, and he was my rock. He took care of everything and was there for me with every interview that I didn't get a call back from. He picked up where I couldn't, and I'm trying to do the same for him as the roles have been reversed. Commenter 2. It sounds like your husband may be going through a type of depression. His drinking isn't helping the matter. Your family hasn't been right all along, but something certainly needs to change. I hate people who think divorce is the answer to everything. Divorce should be the last thought, not the first. Start with counseling. If he won't join you, go solo. Make it clear to him that your marriage is in jeopardy, and you can't save it alone. Ops response: thank you. I started therapy myself last month. Only had a couple sessions, so we haven't gotten really deep yet, but I will definitely try to get him to come with me. Someone else mentioned health insurance covers couples counseling, which I didn't know, so hopefully he'll go. Commenter 3. What I'm not hearing is what you are doing to fix this. Couples counseling to decide whether to stay or go. I'm sober and have been for a long time. Most people think that an alcoholic is drinking every day. That's actually really end stage. An alcoholic is someone who, once they start drinking, can't stop. So, cutting down isn't a solution. Quitting is. But he would have to want that. He doesn't. I guarantee it's part of why he loses jobs. You're hoping that he's going to wake up and become who he was. That ship has sailed unless he wants to do the work. The drinking, the not working, and taking zero accountability for his actions. I can't imagine, and I can hear that you don't want this life. The problem is that you have no control over his actions, and it's his actions that are destroying your life. Financially, emotionally, everything. You have to lie to your family to justify staying? You know the answer, but if you truly want to feel as if you've done all you can, then go to marriage counseling and make it clear that unless he stops drinking and he becomes a plus to your life instead of dragging you down, you're done. The result will be the same. I think you know that. Don't believe it can't get worse, because it can. Ops response: okay, so I have been paying more attention to the drinking the past couple of months, but I honestly did not think it was enough to say he's an alcoholic. He usually only drank socially, but this started in March of this year when it would be blackout drunk. No, he doesn't drink every day, not even every week, but over the last few months the end result is always the same, and he doesn't remember the night before. I have alcoholics in my family, but they all drink every single day from waking to sleeping, so I thought I would have noticed the signs. Thank you for pointing out drinking every day is not always the case, because I honestly thought I was being paranoid hounding him about it. A couple people mentioned this is why he can't keep a job, but this is more recent, so if anything I think it may be why he started. But I will definitely be talking to him about seeking help. Update 2 weeks later. I've never done an update, so I hope I'm doing this right. A lot of people were asking the same questions, so I'm going to try and address that first and clarify some things. Sorry this is kind of long. Nate was a mixture of fired and quit from jobs. He was usually fired for attendance, the reasons for not going being headaches or feeling sick. This was truly unrelated to drinking. If he quit, it was for various reasons, but the main reason was having some type of issue with management. The drinking started in March of this year, and it is not daily, not even weekly. However, my main issue is getting blackout drunk when he does drink. This is not exclusive to family gatherings, but the embarrassing things usually happen in these cases, embarrassing being the way he speaks to me. We discussed it many times and it's always met with resistance. I have definitely been in denial of this being an issue, and the overwhelming comments have removed that denial. I mentioned it in the comments of my original post, but I have alcoholics in my family. They drink daily and from morning to night, and he doesn't, so I thought I was being paranoid about this issue. I don't think this had anything to do with losing jobs, but it was picked up as a result of it. Many people said I don't defend him to my family, and this is why he doesn't come to gatherings. I didn't talk about it in my original post, but I have defended him. They never say this in front of him, only to me. They don't treat him differently or isolate him or anything like that. I don't just let them talk crap, but this usually results in us talking in circles and me feeling like crap. No, I have never told him what they are saying. I am in therapy solo, but it's new, so we hadn't gotten into my marriage at the time. This was honestly eating away at me since the funeral, and my next session was 2 weeks away at the time, which is what led to my post. I do think he's struggling mentally, but I'm accepting there's only so much I can do if he's constantly insisting he's fine. Someone asked, if he's of sound mind, why don't I believe him when he says he's fine? I've dealt with depression and did not realize it until I was out of it and reflected back on that period of time. Maybe it's projecting, but he may think it's fine, but it's not. Many people ask what he's doing to fix things. I guess the simple answer is nothing. We have conversations about our marriage where he promises to do better, and he does do better for a while, and then he just stops. Now for the update. I ended up turning my therapy session into a 2-hour session, double copay, yay America. We deep dived into my marriage, and I actually told her about my original post and some of the comments that stuck with me. Obviously, one long session is not a fix-all, but it definitely helped me come to some realizations. A couple of comments we focused on. Me lying for him, for starters. In the beginning, I truly did not have a problem with not going on dates or getting gifts or even just the little things. But, of course, over time that kind of chipped away. I guess about the time I started lying about it is when I stopped being okay with it. Someone said my marriage not working out does not mean I failed. Honestly, this broke me. Out of all the comments, this one really got me. I have felt like if I gave up, this would be a failure. I didn't get married to get divorced. I thought I would be spending forever with him, and I've definitely been trying to keep floating a sinking ship. Therapist says I'm a people pleaser, and honestly, after everything we've talked about, yay, that tracks. As for Nate, he's on thin ice with his current job, go figure. Even knowing this, he still did not go to work one day last week because he had a headache. No, this was not a hangover, he was not drinking the day before. I am 100% positive of that. I start work 2 hours before him, so I didn't know he stayed home until I got home. I snapped. I told him he doesn't get to skip out on work every time he has a headache, especially when he is already on multiple attendance warnings. I get frequent migraines, and I don't skip work unless it's literally one that makes me super dizzy. I take something for it and get to work because we're adults with responsibilities and can't just skip work every single time we feel bad. He told me I was overreacting, and I told him, of course, he would see it that way because I sit back and let him do whatever he wants all the time. Maybe I did overreact. Maybe he did have a bad headache. Either way, I left to my sister's house to cool off. I broke down at this point, crying to her and telling her everything. To my surprise, although it shouldn't have been a surprise at all, you guys were right. They all knew something I didn't. My brother and sister have secretly been giving him money to take me on dates for my birthday and our anniversary ever since him first losing his job. My sister even paid his portion for 2 family vacations we took. I wasn't going to go on either of these vacations because I couldn't afford to pay for both of us, but my sister said she could tell how sad I was about it. They both knew how badly I was trying to make it work and were trying to help. I called my brother and made him come over too. I thought they would give me I told you so's or rub salt in the wound, but they were very supportive. I ended up staying with my sister a couple of nights and returning home Friday night. I told Nate we needed to have a serious conversation. I laid out everything I was feeling. I cried and begged him to go to therapy. If not to couples therapy, at least to go solo. He refused. He says therapy is a waste of time and money, just paying someone to talk to you. He says we don't need anyone in our business like that, and we can deal ourselves. I told him obviously we can't, and having an outside, unbiased opinion may help us understand each other better and be good for our future. He refused. He really doesn't see how all of this is affecting me. I did get him to open up the slightest bit about what's going on in his head. In short, he thinks the world owes him something. When he first lost his job, he went to his parents for help. They refused to help, which honestly I'm not sure what he thought would happen because they've never been good to him or me, for that matter. He was going on and on about how his dad left his mom for half his life before they got back together, and he needed to make up for it. I told him he's not a child anymore, he's an adult, his parents don't owe him anything. To which he said it's the least they could do. We barely even touched the money/bills topic, as usual, as this led to yelling and things were getting heated. I addressed him taking money from my siblings to pay for dates/vacations, and he said, "Why does it matter where the money came from? You wanted to go out, and I made it happen." He doesn't think there's an issue with this at all. He told me all I care about is money, his love and loyalty is never enough. This really hurt me because it's like everything was slipping through my fingers before my eyes. In trying to be a good wife and supportive partner, I completely missed so many signs and lost myself. We are separating for now. I was going to let him stay in our house, but I changed my mind. I honestly don't trust him to keep up any of the bills or cleaning. We rent our house, and the lease is not up until May, so I'll be staying there and taking care of everything as usual. He's staying with family for now. I still didn't jump straight to divorce, as I'm trying to get through to him, but I can see now this may be where it's headed, and I'm unpacking all that in therapy, trust me. Despite all of that, I still love him very much and wish things were different. I'm hoping the separation inspires change, but I did give him until our lease is up to show me with actions. Honestly, with his track record, I'm not holding my breath, but it's tearing a hole in my chest just thinking about filing for divorce, and well, that's another issue for therapy. Thank you to everyone who commented, it made me really think about myself for once. Any advice for fixing a broken heart? Lol, but kind of serious. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Your family, oh my word. They were giving him money to give you gifts and holidays? They knew and never let you know, hoping it'd get better. They are amazing people. And you are amazing. You did a 180-degree turn towards a healthier outlook quickly. You are right to kick him out and keep the house. He likely wouldn't have taken care of the place, leading to the loss of the deposit. Do you feel safe? Should you have the locks changed? Congratulations on shifting your perspective and seeking therapy. You did some hard work. Kudos. Ops response. Yes, I feel safe, thank you for asking. He wasn't apologetic. If anything, I think he believes I'll get over it soon, but I'm standing my ground. After talking with my siblings, I can't ignore how much I'd taken on to make my marriage work. It was wild hearing my sister say she could see sadness in my eyes, and although they assured me it was not a burden, I just can't believe they were giving him money all this time.